I hope that as a Christian, you're becoming more and more passionate about making disciples, that you're more and more excited about telling people about Jesus, and if so, that's great. But I want to warn you in this video, don't let your zeal harm your church. Let me explain what I mean. You see, discipling requires speaking truth in the context of relationships. That's how we make disciples, in relationship. But the Bible commands us to speak truth in love. Whether you're talking to your kids, your spouse, your friends, or your small group, whenever you share truth, you need to share truth in a way that is loving. And you need to think about this truth that you're going to share. Is this something that a person is ready to hear and that they're willing to hear? And am I saying it in a way that they're going to be more likely to accept it? Or am I speaking truth in a way that people are going to reject it? You see, the Bible's very helpful in this. Take a look at Ephesians 4:29. It says, "Don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that your words will be an encouragement to those who hear them." Look at that second sentence. Let everything you say be good and helpful. You see, we can speak truth, but we can kind of blow away a person if the way we say it isn't good and helpful, if it doesn't really encourage them. I'm sure a lot of times people have spoken truth to you in a way that wasn't good or helpful in your life, and so you rejected that truth. In order to help you out, let me give you some examples of words that aren't always helpful, words that you might use when you try and speak truth into someone else's life. The first are mean-spirited arguments. Maybe you're trying to disciple somebody who's coming out of a different religion or a different worldview or a different philosophy, and you want to poke holes in their religion or their philosophy, and maybe there's a time to do that, but we need to do so in a way that's not mean-spirited. So often people jump on Facebook or Twitter and they say really mean things about other people's religion, other people's faith, and they do so in a way that's not very helpful. Maybe it's true what they're saying, but they're doing it in such a mean-spirited way, no one's going to listen to them. Some other words that aren't helpful are words that deal with controversial or divisive topics. You see, when you're working with a young Christian especially, don't get bogged down in controversial issues or divisive issues, issues that divide Christians. Don't get distracted by political issues or theological issues that have nothing to do with salvation where good Christians disagree. Keep focused on the main things, especially when you're dealing with a young Christian or when you're talking to someone who's not even a Christian yet. And finally, words that aren't helpful include words that involve arrogant opinions. Sometimes Christians speak the truth, but they do so in such an arrogant way that no one would ever want to listen to them. You can be right, but if you're arrogant about it, no one is going to hear you. Instead, our focus should be what we see in Proverbs 15:2. The tongue of the wise makes knowledge appealing, but the mouth of a fool belches out foolishness. You see, if you're a wise person, you're going to say truth in such a way that it's appealing to someone. It's like honey, it's sweet, it's something they want to accept. And that's how you should focus and channel your zeal. Otherwise, you can harm the church, because as a Christian, your words reflect on the church. There are many people who want nothing to do with Jesus, who want nothing to do with God or the church or Christianity, and it's because they've listened to Christians speak truth. They've heard Christians share truth in such a harsh and harmful way that they want nothing to do with Jesus. But here's the good news. We don't have to be like that. We don't have to let our zeal harm the church. We can speak truth in love, and that's exactly what God wants from us. So go ahead and pause this video and discuss some of these questions.